In the dark and gloomy halls of Elsinore Castle, Hamlet wandered, his thoughts heavy with grief and revenge. His father's ghost had set him on a path to avenge his death, but Hamlet felt trapped in a web of deceit, unsure of whom to trust. One evening, as the moon cast long shadows across the castle grounds, Hamlet heard a mysterious voice echo through the corridors. It was deep, cold, and unlike anything he had heard before. The voice called his name, beckoning him to the old crypt beneath the castle, where the bones of long-dead kings and warriors lay forgotten. Curious and cautious, Hamlet followed the voice. He descended into the crypt, his footsteps echoing against the stone walls. The air was thick with the scent of dust and decay. As he reached the heart of the crypt, a figure emerged from the darkness. It was a tall, armored knight, but not like any knight Hamlet had seen. His armor was black as midnight, and his eyes glowed red with an unnatural light. His presence seemed to suck the warmth from the air, and Hamlet felt a chill run down his spine. "Who are you?" Hamlet demanded, drawing his sword. "Speak, or I shall strike you down." The knight laughed, a sound like metal grinding on stone. "I am the Shade of Vengeance," he said, his voice cold as the grave. "I was summoned by the spirits of the dead, those who fell victim to betrayal and murder. I have come to test your resolve, Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. If you are truly worthy of avenging your father, you must defeat me." Hamlet tightened his grip on his sword. "I have faced madness and despair, and I will not be deterred by you, Spectre. I will prove my worth." The knight raised his dark blade, and the two clashed in the dim light of the crypt. Hamlet fought with all his strength, but the Shade of Vengeance was relentless. His strikes were swift and powerful, and Hamlet struggled to keep up. As they battled, the walls of the crypt seemed to close in on them, and Hamlet could hear the whispers of the dead, urging him to fight on. The knight's blade nicked Hamlet's arm, drawing blood. But Hamlet gritted his teeth and pressed forward. "You are strong, but strength alone will not defeat me," the knight hissed. "Your mind is clouded with doubt and hesitation. You must clear your heart of fear if you hope to survive." Hamlet knew the knight spoke the truth. All his life, he had been plagued by indecision, torn between action and thought. But in that moment, in the face of death, he found clarity. He realized that he had been fighting not only the knight but also his own inner demons. With a fierce cry, Hamlet launched himself at the knight, his sword moving with a speed and precision that surprised even him. He struck with all his might, and the blade of the knight shattered under the force of his blow. The Shade of Vengeance stumbled back, its glowing eyes flickering. "You have defeated me, Hamlet," it rasped. "But remember, the battle within you is far from over. Only when you confront the true source of your torment will you find peace." With those words, the knight dissolved into a cloud of black smoke, leaving Hamlet alone in the crypt. The prince sheathed his sword and stood in silence, his heart still racing. He knew the knight's words were true. His fight for justice and peace was far from over, but for now he had won this battle. Hamlet left the crypt, the whispers of the dead fading behind him. He walked back into the night, ready to face whatever trials awaited him next, determined to fulfill his destiny.